Yesterday I froze during sex and my girlfriend asked if we should stop. I said yes, and she backed off. I've never been treated like this before. I'm 23, and I've been raped before twice. I've been sexually assaulted too, and this has affected me and subsequent relationships a lot. 2 days ago my girlfriend, 23, was in my lap and we were making out, and suddenly the images of rape came into my mind and I froze. She obviously sensed it and asked if everything was okay, but I couldn't answer. And I'd begun to sweat. She got off my lap and asked if I wanted to talk, but I still couldn't say anything. Then she asked if she should leave the room and I gave a small nod. She just grabbed her phone from the table and left. This has never happened with me. Nobody has listened to my no before. It feels weird, different, I don't know. Next morning when I woke up, she had made breakfast and left me a note saying if I wanted to talk I could call her anytime. She came over after work and I thanked her for listening to me. I was almost in tears. She welled up too and said no obviously means no, but hesitation means no too, and that she would never knowingly hurt me. I've never been treated like this before. My parents were shit, and almost every relationship I've had, 3, were also similarly shit. But she's different. She's been my rock when I've fallen low. She cooks for me because she wants me to be healthy. She leaves notes of affirmation all over the house for me to find, and is generally the most genuine, amazing person I've ever met. I want to show my gratitude to her and want to tell her how much she means to me, but I don't know how. Also, it's still weighing on me how my say matters to her. Never in my life have I ever been treated this way. So how do I tell how much she means to me, and will I stop feeling this way? Edit. Oh my god, y'all, I never expected this kind of response. I'm trying to read through them all, but thank you so much. To clarify a few things, almost everyone who commented suggested therapy. Therapy is super expensive, and I'm already working to pay for school. But yes, I've started therapy. It's been about 5 months now, just taking baby steps here. Secondly, y'all gave a ton of good ideas, but I think I'm gonna write her a letter and maybe arrange for a small picnic for the two of us. I know she'll love it. For those saying I should propose, that's definitely the plan, just not now. And to those who shared their similar experiences, thank you. It gave me an insight, and I hope things look up for you. And for all those who said I'm a pussy for getting raped or I'm lying, I'm sorry, but I can't make y'all believe me. I hope you all feel better after this point. B. Again, thank you so much for your kind comments. You're Lara Amazeballs. You could read her this post. If you wanted to show her with your actions, then you could plan a special day doing the things she enjoys. And to add to that, if you've never heard about love languages, they could be a good start to thinking of other ways to show her your appreciation. Does she like gifts, quality time, acts of service, physical touch, words of affirmation? Not saying to focus on only one, but it could help give you more specific ideas. Even on a date, doing things she enjoys, you might be able to dig a little deeper. Would she love being presented a heartfelt letter, gifts plus words of affirmation, a quiet evening stroll, hand in hand, physical touch plus quality time? On the other hand, he sounds like a keeper, and I wish you to the best. Sorry you've gone through what you have, and I'm glad that you're finally being treated the way that you deserve to be treated. My love language is tangible things. I buy or make personal gifts. I touch. I kiss. I'm not big on the outgoing things or romantic poems and dates. But if you want a scratching post your kitty can sleep on, then am I the right man to make that for you? And it'll have feathers on it too. He sounds like a keeper. You should look into finding a therapist that specializes in EMDR. It can help you process your trauma and handle external stimuli that triggers your PTSD. This is very important. I'm in therapy now. Also EMDR. It will be very tough, but I noticed that after just a few sessions, I thought and think very different about my traumas now. It does work, and it's a very good therapy to get rid of your traumas. Good luck. I completed EMDR a few years ago. Massive improvements in my life. 100% recommend. Set up a little living room picnic date with her favorite foods and put on a movie for the two of you to watch. Girls don't want or need really big gestures. It's the simple things that matter most. He sounds like an amazing and supportive partner, and that is absolutely what you deserve. I know sometimes it can be really hard/awkward to voice appreciation for stuff like this. A card may be a really sweet and special thing that she would probably really appreciate and be able to hang on to forever. I know I always loved small stuff like that from my boyfriends. I would keep them in a memory box so I could look back at them. Your girlfriend sounds amazing. I'm sorry to hear about your trauma, and when we've been subject to boundaries being violated in the past, either small scale or something like assault, when someone responds in a respectful, empathetic way, it can feel really emotional. It also sounds like I can relate to the whole feeling of not being able to communicate with her in that moment. That's totally normal, and as some people have mentioned already, seeking professional support would be a great idea to help you push yourself in a safe and comfortable way. You don't need to pay her back or do anything big. Even as small as saying, "Hey, I really appreciated you being so supportive of me the other night. This stuff is tough for me to talk about, but I wanted to express how much it meant to me to have felt safe with you in that moment." Having gone through something similar, it's hard to express the relief when you actually find someone who cares about what you want more than they care about sex. I'd been talking to this guy on and off for years, but had never met until one night when I was bored, and he messaged me out of the blue, offering to go to his for drinks. I sorta clarified with him that this was just gonna be drinks and I wasn't interested in hooking up, but he still wanted to meet. Anyway, he offered me a cab to get to his. Neither of us was in a fit state to drive lol, and we ended up getting really drunk. He was a great guy and we are just cuddling up chatting, like we've known each other for years. One thing leads to another, and I just sorta think duck it, why not? Apostrophe. TBH, I'm not even sure what changed, but it just wasn't doing anything for me. I tried to just carry on, but the drink and other things were really hitting me now, and the world was spinning in a drunken bad way. He asked me if I was okay, and I just said I want to stop. I was expecting him to get angry, or emotional, or demand reasons, but he just accepted. He asked if I wanted to go home or him to go back to the living room, neither of which I did. He asked if we could just snuggle, and besides a joke about him wanking in the toilet, so he wasn't poking me, he was fine with it. It was just IDK. Refreshing that his only concern wasn't him, and it meant more to him that we both enjoyed it. I'm sorry you couldn't quite connect with each other enough for a relationship. I'm having a similar situation going on right now, except that I'm the one on the other side of things. My friend and I have been best friends for 5 years, and we were both in a 2-year-long relationship with someone else up until a year ago. We both ended things around the same time and realized that we saw the things we wanted in each other. So maybe 2 weeks after us being single, we got drunk and kissed. We knew we could potentially duck up our friendship, but decided to duck it and be mature about it if it doesn't work out. So there we are, going from kissing to having sex sometime later. And I knew she experienced a sexual assault as a child and didn't have a good sex life with her ex. This wasn't in my mind though when we had sex, in a way that I wasn't too cautious with her, just doing the things to please her. That's what she loved. Her ex was too cautious, which in turn made her cautious and made her thinking of what happened in her abuse. She tells me she has never felt this before. She could finally let go while having sex, most of the time. Sometimes it got to her still, and I would always stop immediately and make sure she was fine. I would do anything for her to make her feel better and stop thinking about the bad stuff. She really felt like I was so accepting, attentive and patient, which I really try to be, but still, she was dealing with some kind of depression which was kinda related to her past, and she felt like she needed some time alone sometime in the future. This is also why we didn't make anything official. I told her that I understand that it will be hard because I love her and she loves me, but that is also the reason I believe we will get through this. So after almost 9 months of dating, we decided to start the break. This was 1 month ago. I'm struggling kind of, but also very positive. But I always get thinking of if she still wants me after the break or her feelings fade away. And we talked about this before the break and knew we could know for sure. But I really want her, and I can be the man she really wants and maybe needs, who can care for her and most importantly understands her, and I already feel like I do. It's been so though seeing her going through these things, and I really think she's such a tough woman. But she has to deal with it her way. To maybe try and see if she can clear her mind before we can get back together. I really hope she can deal with the depression, and if it works out with us too, that's wonderful, but I just really want her to be well. I don't know why I'm writing this here, but I felt like I needed to get it off my chest and give an insight to the other side of things and how challenging it can be. People are calling you a pussy? SMH. Men and boys get raped too. Dumbasses. That's the phrase I've been wanting to hear my whole life without knowing it. Hesitation means no too. I have hesitated so many times, and people will say, "Are you okay?" and I'd say yes. Really it meant no, but I'm feeling awkward and embarrassed. Okay, who the fuck called you a pussy for being ducking raped? Question mark? Question mark? Please tell me who they are, and we'll be having ducking words. Just be as attentive as she is. Show her and tell her you love her. You also need to go to therapy. It's nice and all that you want to show her you appreciate her, but that won't help in the long run. Honestly, the best thing you could do for the both of you is to find professional help and to work through your trauma. This sounds like a healthy and supportive partner. As has been said, you can read her this post or show her this post. One thing you also may want to try doing is using your own words to express how you feel. Obviously it's going to be hard at first, but that's only because it's not something you're used to. Being open and in connection with your emotions while also being able to verbalize them is a skill that takes time to learn how to do. Ideally this is something you want to learn how to do, and you need to start eventually. If not now, when? All the best, Opus. May your relationship continue to grow stronger over time. I don't know if you will stop feeling this way anytime soon. If you haven't already and can afford it, seek therapy. You have trauma from the horrible things that have happened to you, and you need to deal with that if you haven't already. Also, sounds like you've got yourself a keeper, and from what she's done and doing for you, it seems like it's the little things that matter to her. Maybe you could surprise her with a picnic or a date night, something she enjoys doing, and just tell her you appreciate her, and this is just a small way of saying thank you. Hesitation is also a no. This. I wish more people understood this. Often people who have experienced sexual assault have a freeze response, which many people don't notice or choose not to notice and take as silent consent. I'm glad you have found someone so sensitive, aware and truly caring. You deserve it. I was in a similar situation with my fiancé. He told me it took him a long time to get comfortable with even touching himself. We have progressed to the point where we are having sex now, though. So, like many people have suggested, I would say therapy and just be patient with yourself. Now that you have found a keeper and she understands, go slow until you can genuinely enjoy the experience. It may take a while, but there is absolutely no need to rush it. My fiancé and I have been together around 4.5 years, and we just progressed to full sex a few months ago. She will understand. If this relationship doesn't work out long term, you now know this is how a good relationship is, and don't ever settle for anything less ever again. B. What you described is a flashback from PTSD caused by sexual assault. Please talk to your doctor. PTSD does not go away, but can be managed and managed well. Medication, therapy, etc. Close bracket. By getting help, you're going to make your life and relationship better. I wish you all the love and happiness you can squeeze from this life. Dude, are people seriously ducking saying you're lying? Or you're a pussy? Are you ducking serious? Question mark. What in the fuck, people? Exclamation mark. Dude, I'm so sorry this happened to you. Your girlfriend is definitely an amazing person and human being. I'd suggest just tell her that you appreciate what she did, and maybe show her this post if you're not comfortable saying it aloud. Either way, man, I hope you have a great day, and I apologize for the rude comments and the people saying you're lying and or are a pussy. You're not a pussy, you're brave, okay? Who TF told Zao you're a pussy for getting raped? I just want to have a little talk with them. Looking through the comments to downvote all the people calling him a pussy. Have you been to professional therapy? I'm happy for you, man. That's really rare to find someone like that. I'd recommend collecting your thoughts and writing her a note or something like that instead of saying it verbally. It'll avoid any potential awkwardness for both of you. But don't be too dramatic or corny with it. Just let her know that you really do appreciate her kindness and compassion. My dude, it takes a lot to talk about that stuff. My first relationship started off by her taking my virginity. Literally taking it. I went over to make out, and by the end of the night we had had sex. I then proceeded to be abused by her, emotionally and physically, for another 4 months. She even went as far as coming to my school to say I had gotten her pregnant. 3 months after her mom sent her away to rehab for cutting herself. It took me another year and a half to even try for a relationship. Even 16 years later it affects me. My current girlfriend is the first time I think I've actually been able to open up my heart to the possibility of love, and it sucks for all the others. 4. I've dated in between. I've always heard you'll know when you know. When it comes to love, and it seems like you know. If there's one person you shouldn't be scared to talk to, it's her. She's clearly understanding. You've got a good one there, my friend. I was a victim of attempted rape before. I'm not a small or a weak person. 59. 205 at the time. A girl I had repeatedly expressed no interest in wouldn't get the hint. He'd been drinking at a friend's house, so I decided to crash on their couch. I woke up an hour later to her straddling me and trying to take my pants off. She was not listening to me tell her to get off of me, and she was very aggressive and persistent. I finally shoved her back and donkey kicked her off the couch. My friend and his girlfriend were standing there laughing while it happened, thinking it was funny. I'm lucky I wasn't drinker than I was that night. Rape can happen to anyone, and getting raped doesn't make you less of a man in any way. I'm glad you have someone supportive in your life. I'm truly happy for you that you found someone that cares deeply about how you feel, that listened to your pain and anguish. There are many things you can do to show her how you feel. It all depends upon you and your feelings. You could make her dinner and tell her why you made it for her. You could do what a previous poster said. Show her this Reddit post. You could just sit her down, like when you told her everything, and explain what she does for you and how much it means for you. What do you mean? How to stop feeling this way? I came across a book, The Body Keeps the Score. I was wondering how / some who had PTSD and other types of trauma moved on with their life when I get stuck with my condition forever. I was diagnosed some kind of mental illness. Look it up if you have time. I've only read half of it and find it useful. I hope it helps you to move on from the past. Wish you all the best. Hey man, just wanted to let you know that you are not a pussy for getting raped, and not alone as well. Happened to me twice. 10 and 8 years. And my current girlfriend is the first person I opened up to regarding this subject. And only because there was some kind of heated debate about feminism and rape we were a part of. Which is a subject that gets me extremely tense because of these past experiences. Book a weekend at a spa where she can get every massage she wants. Give this present to her and tell her how thankful you are that she is in your life. That you never were with someone before that appreciates you and your needs so much. Tell her that you don't take it for granted and that you love her for the person she is. Then have a nice weekend together at a nice place. I think it's important you tell her how much she means to you. And I would suggest finding some professional help for your previous trauma. Good luck to you, my friend. I was raped at 17. I thought I would never smile again. I thought I wouldn't ever let go intimately anymore. I thought the flashbacks during intimacy would always come back. Flash forward to 16 years later, and I have never been happier. It will get better. It will get easier. It will never leave you. These wounds take time to heal. Don't be ashamed of it. You survived something that other people don't get that chance. Don't be afraid to ask for help. I want to upvote your girlfriend. She is an awesome person. The world needs more like her. I don't mean that first sentence to sound pervy. Close bracket. The worst advice would be to propose. You need to take care of yourself first. When you have some tools to help you with your issues and you learn better coping skills, then you're ready to commit to marriage. I'm not saying you can't have a relationship, but you need to put your best foot forward in a marriage, and you can't do that when you're wrestling with this. She sounds great though. Good luck. Please click subscribe if you enjoyed this video.